What are your takeaways from this, Chris?
It's just the peak of severe weather season, and we're now in the right setup, and we've seen this multiple times, that whenever you have a low, the warm front, the cold front, it's called the warm sector. It's also the triple point. It's right when you're underneath there, that's your best chance for a tornado outbreak, and we've seen that now 3 of the last 4 days, and today is going to be 4 of the last 5 days, because it's the exact same setup. And we have a lot more video that I really kind of want to comb through, and we're going to go through what's called the degree of damage. So whenever you talk about the EF scale, we're starting here in Illinois. The EF scale is just based on damage. So they pretty much go out and assess, hey, what happened here? What you're looking at right now is Illinois. Illinois had the strongest tornado reported with a peak wind of 190 miles per hour. That is a strong EF4. Once you get to 200 plus, we're talking about EF5. Whenever you see an absolutely leveled structure, as we just saw in one of those images, you're talking about winds getting up to about 185 to 205 miles per hour. Whenever you have large sections of the roof removed, as we're seeing in many of these areas, it's close to about 104 to 142. So engineers have gone out and said, hey, what winds do this damage? And that's how we decide, or the National Weather Service is going to decide what strength tornado it was. So this one that you're seeing right there, all this damage, that's EF4. When everything is just piles of rubble, it's at least a strong EF3 to EF4 as we're seeing here. Now we're here in Kentucky. So Kentucky mainly saw an EF3. So EF3 is going to show winds anywhere from 135 to 165 miles per hour. The winds that cause damage like this were likely anywhere from about 140 to 155 miles per hour. So that's a strong EF3. And how you know that is once you start to see some of the exterior walls collapse, especially when it's bricks like this structure, that means the upper bound that we're into EF3 strength. Anything that's EF2, which is 111 plus, is going to be a strong tornado. This is a very strong tornado where 18 were killed here in Kentucky, and it's also only 100 mile per hour winds enough to move a car. You're talking about 110, 115, physically flipping them. This one right here, likely where just the roof was taken off, probably winds about 120 to 130 miles per hour. Now we go to St. Louis. St. Louis, you can see a lot of structure to the top of some of these apartment buildings and these structures. Bricks, again, is a really good deterrent about how strong it is. Whenever it's EF5, you're talking about schools completely destroyed. Since it's mainly just the top floors, the part of the degree of damage here is usually winds up to about 150 miles per hour, and it was actually a peak wind of 152 that was found here in St. Louis. Now, luckily, this is nothing like what we saw over in Joplin, but it's still staggering whenever you talk about a big community like this in St. Louis, because it's just the outer bounds. I think Walker Lawson said about 2 miles from downtown. That's just absolutely staggering. So that's what you can essentially expect in this area of the country. The tornado threat is at a significant severe threat. Anything in the red represents a 10% chance for tornadoes, a 15% chance in the areas of that magenta color. Those hashed lines mean significant threat, meaning that widespread EF2s to EF3s are all possibility. That means flipped cars. That means roofs stripped and neighborhoods completely destroyed. So it's really sad to see this again. This is right in the heart of Tornado Alley. Everything's coming together for the perfect type of conditions that are happening with this system. And we saw that over the weekend. Just recently, we saw widespread damage that swept through parts of Kansas. Check it out. Oftentimes, these are supercells. Those are long track rotating thunderstorms. And one telltale sign is the hail core. Hail usually always precedes a strong tornado, just depending where you are in that sector. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. A lot of big time hail makers all in all. So I'm happy to say that we're not going to have anything like that for our severe weather risks. We just have a little tail along the front. It's mainly the far western side of the Carolinas for our severe weather potential. And then closer to Tuesday, all of us have a chance for a strong thunderstorm, but I think that's mainly during the evening and through the overnight. Coming up in the next half hour, I'll show you our futurecast, Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. In the meantime, thoughts and prayers for all those here in the Midwest and the central United States.